Which is the most Disney hotel? Which hotel is clean and affordable and safe? These are just some of the questions that I've gotten from clients that have never been to Disney World before, and I thought I would share with you. So if you want to see what I have to say, then just keep watching. Now, I've had a lot of new clients that don't really know the ins and outs of Disney resorts, so they've had a lot of questions that once you've been there, you'll realize don't really make a whole lot of sense or are sometimes even a little bit silly. And I don't blame them at all because they've never been there and they don't know. So I thought I would share with you today in the interest of being educateful to let you know my thoughts on the subject. So the first one is, what is the most Disney hotel? I'm surprised how often I get this question. So all of the Disney hotels are Disney hotels. I'm not really sure how else to say that one. In terms of theming, the two that are most in-your-face Disney, I would have to say, are Art of Animation and All-Star Movies. I don't know that anybody would argue with that one. I really don't. The difference, though, between those and other hotels is that the level of Disney is more garish, I would say, and in your face. And that sounds more negative than I mean it to be, because I don't mean it to be negative, but it's just a different theme. When you go from a value, both of those are value resorts. So when you go from a value resort to a moderate resort, the theming gets, I'm not sure how to say it other than fancier. It's just a step up in terms of quality, in terms of elegance, and in terms of amenities that you will see. And then moving up again to the deluxes are even more so. So like I said, all of the resorts are Disney. It's just in what way are they Disney? So take Art of Animation, for example. You have enormous pictures on the walls for each of the themed rooms. You know, you have the Little Mermaid rooms, Finding Nemo, Lion King, etc. And at All-Star Movies, you have the giant statues of things that are in Disney movies. You don't have things quite so obviously Disney like that at the other resorts. Now, at the other values, that's kind of what they're known for, really big, larger than life, garish, for lack of a better word, in-your-face theming. That's just how it is. Now, when you go up to the moderate resorts, I think it's done more tastefully. That's not to say that the value resorts aren't nice. It's just the theming is just more tastefully done in the moderates. So in the moderates, you have more, I feel like there's probably more landscaping and there's more theming in terms of not just statues that are there. And I'll put some pictures in so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. For example, at Coronado Springs, they do have some statues too. They're of Donald Duck and the Three Caballeros, but they're a lot more subtle. And moving up to the deluxes, they're known for luxury. That's just what they are. But that's not to say that they're not Disney. They have hidden Mickeys all over the place. They still have the Disney touches. For example, in the Wilderness Lodge, they have their bathrooms, they have tiles with Bambi, Chip and Dale, and Meeko from Pocahontas. It's super cute. Very Disney themed. In the Grand Floridian, they have the topiary of Mary Poppins, and they have the character breakfast there with Mary Poppins. They have theming appropriate to each hotel. So Mary Poppins is, England Victorian, so that fits in the Grand Floridian. No, they're not going to have that at, say, Animal Kingdom Lodge, because that just doesn't fit in. But that's not to say they're not Disney. Look at the floors. The floors have hidden Mickeys in the carpet and things like that. It's just more subtle in the deluxes. So to say which is the most Disney hotel, that I feel like that's a difficult question to answer, as you can see, because I've been talking for 5 minutes, 6 minutes, I don't know, a long time. But they're all Disney. It's just a matter of your preference, and I would say the values, specifically Art of Animation and All-Star Movies, are in your face Disney. But there are Disney touches in all of them. If you're staying at a Disney hotel, don't worry about not being immersed in the Disney magic. It is there. You'll see it in the parks. You don't have to worry about that at all. Now, the next question that I get a lot is from people saying they just want a hotel that is safe and clean. Okay, safe, I've had that one once, but I wanted to throw it in. I get one a lot that say that they just want a hotel that is clean and in a good location. And I've had some people say they want a hotel that isn't nasty. That one really, really threw me. Like, okay. So none of the hotels should be nasty. This is Disney, and they have very high standards. So even though the moderates don't have as many amenities or frills as the deluxes, and then the values don't have as many, it still should be clean. If you have issues with your room anywhere, you can contact them. There are no Disney properties that are known for having like cockroaches and, oh, this one is just filthy, and that's not the case. And the same goes for safety. Now, use your common sense with safety. You probably should not just leave your hotel room door open while you're swimming out by the pool. Lock your car door if you bring a car. Don't let your small children wander off by themselves, but that's just common sense stuff. I've never heard of a Disney hotel, and I've gone there over a dozen times. I've been doing this job for over 5 years. I've never heard of a Disney hotel that is known for being unsafe. I have never once felt unsafe at Disney at all, including the time when we stayed at Port Orleans Riverside and I was alone walking in the dark by myself across, like, around the hotel. And if you've been there, it's a very long hotel. It's a very large hotel or resort, I should say, because I got off on the wrong bus stop. Even then, I felt totally safe. Okay, so I was a little afraid of, like, water things because I was, like, right by the water, but it was totally fine. I digress. So those two things I don't think you have to worry about. Now, a hotel in a good location, that's really subjective. Disney World is huge, and they have so many resorts that it's completely spread out. So there's no one hotel that's central to it all. Now, the deluxes are closer to the theme parks in general than the values and moderates, but they still can't be close to all of them just because it's so spread out. So, for example, the Wilderness Lodge and the Grand Floridian and Polynesian and Contemporary are close to the Magic Kingdom, but they're significantly further away from Hollywood Studios and from Animal Kingdom. And the Yacht Club and Beach Club and Boardwalk are close to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, but they're significantly further away from Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. So, I mean, it's so big, you can't be by everything. You just can't. And something to consider is the mode of transportation. Now, all values, all moderates, and the Animal Kingdom Lodge Deluxe Resort, their only option for transportation to the parks is by bus. That's your only choice. So if that's a big part of your location, that's something to consider. Now, if you're staying at the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian, or the Contemporary, you can take a monorail to the Magic Kingdom or Epcot. If you're at the Contemporary, you can walk to the Magic Kingdom. That's the only resort you can do that for. If you're staying at Wilderness Lodge, you can take a bus or boat to Magic Kingdom, but you have to take a bus everywhere else. And if you are staying at, let's see, what did I miss? If you're staying at the Boardwalk, the Yacht Club, and the Beach Club, you can walk or take a boat to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, but you are taking a bus to Magic Kingdom and to Animal Kingdom. Maybe I can just put in a picture of a map of Disney World so you can really see the scale of it. It's just massive. It's just not possible to say you want something in a good location. Because, I mean, there aren't really any bad locations. There are some that are more convenient than others, but those are going to be the deluxes, and you're going to pay for those. That's unfortunately just the way it works. But Disney transportation is set up to be as convenient as possible. Now they have the app where you can check on your phone and see when the next bus will arrive at your resort to take you to a park. It's becoming more and more streamlined. So I don't think that's really a consideration, or that's not something you should put a ton of weight on in terms of your decision where to stay. Because, like I said, if you're staying at any of the Values, Moderates, or Animal Kingdom Lodge, your only mode of transportation is a bus. So if you're using Disney transportation, you're always using Disney buses. That's just how it is. You get used to it. It's on your trip. And Disney buses they're not unpleasant, I wouldn't say, in general. They're very friendly. They have the music playing, the Disney music playing, themed to wherever they're going. You're on vacation. So I think that's something that a lot of people are hesitant about, but I wouldn't be if I was planning my first trip and I were you. The last thing that I hear from a lot of my new clients is from clients that are planning to get a couple of rooms, and they'll say, we need 2 rooms next to each other. This is almost never guaranteed. And really, I feel like I should say this is never guaranteed. The only time that they will make sure it happens is if you are, say, one parent traveling with 5 or 6 kids, you can't fit in a room and you don't have enough adults to put them into rooms, because you can't have, like an 8 and a 10-year-old in a hotel room by themselves. Then you'd make sure that Disney would make sure they're adjoining rooms. Other than that, if you have enough adults to split up into 2 rooms, there's no guarantee that they will be next to each other. Now, what I do for my clients, I tell Disney they're traveling together, so I get a travel with number to link them. I request that they be adjoining or next to each other, near each other, on the same floor, in the same building, whatever their request is. Usually it's as close to each other as possible. But something you have to understand is they are not guaranteed, and rooms are not assigned until you arrive at your hotel, until you are checking in. So there's no way to know ahead of time if you're going to be next to each other. The only way you can guarantee that would be if you wanted to get like a suite and then all be in the same suite or in a villa. Then you're technically in one room. But the suites are the Art of Animation family suites and the All-Star Music family suites. There are some suites at Coronado Springs. Those are, I consider them to be, anybody can book them, but I consider them to be more for, they have a convention center there, and I consider them to be more for business types of things because they're way expensive. I don't know why. It just doesn't make sense for a regular family to book those rooms price-wise. There are suites in the deluxes, and then there's the villas, which are deluxes. So keep that in mind in terms of cost. But yeah, those are your options if you want to be next to each other. You can request it, but it isn't guaranteed, or you can get a suite or a villa if you want that to be guaranteed. So those are a couple of the questions and requests, comments, I guess, that I get from new clients a lot. Probably some of my most frequently asked questions / comments regarding the hotel. So I thought you guys might be interested in hearing what I had to say about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, guys.